Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to talk about my Peninsula tank, 25 gallons. It's been some time that I haven't said anything about this tank. The tank is doing fantastic, and today I want to go a little bit deep into what is going on, what have I done with this tank, and what's the future for it. So first of all, if you don't remember, it's been almost 2 years that I made this tank. The tank is a water box Peninsula Mini 25. I made the stand. The stand is a DIY stand. So I made it so it could fit like equipment and stuff that I needed. As you can see, all the stuff for the other tanks. And then the tank itself houses one fish, which is this little baby cow fish. People have asked me about the fish, how the fish is doing and all that stuff. In today's video, we're going to talk about it, see how this guy is doing in this tank. All right, thank you. Okay, so to begin with, the tank itself is not very large, 25 gallons roughly. Probably a little bit less because the rocks and stuff, it makes less water, but nevertheless, that's about a good estimate, 25 gallons. So then let's talk about the light. So the light for this tank is an AI Prime. It's one single light, and that's is doing a fantastic job. The filtration, the tank, it has it's all in one system. So that's the overflow, and here is the return. And here is my dosing. So my dosing, what I dose is all for reef. I will show you in a minute where the stuff is, the dosing pump and everything. So the tank, I have AI Prime Nero 3 doing the water flow, plus its regular return pump, which is a very tiny pump that goes in here. That's all the filtration. I have here the mechanical filtration. A few sponges, rocks underneath here, and then that's the return. That's all this tank has. I don't have a protein skimmer or anything like that. Okay, so this right here, I will consider that as part of the filtration. This is my microalgae. I don't have the specific name. I will put it on the screen, but all these algae helps with the nutrient export very much. So because I don't have a protein skimmer, I am relying on this microalgae to remove all the excess nutrients, nitrates and phosphates. So if we go down here, I'll show you. All right, so down here, this is my cabinet. So I designed this specifically to house all my tools. So I got scissors, knives, scrapers, temperature readings, a flashlight, and here I have scissors to cut, SPS, microalgae, whatever I need, thongs, and then here I have fish food, beakers to test the water testers. I have chemicals in here. I'm using this stuff. I'll show you in a minute what I'm dealing with. And this is I'm dosing all for reef, and I'm using the little Comor pump to do around like 5 mils per day. Here I have more tools, extra tools, fish food, glue. You can never have enough glue, and chemicals to do water dipping. Coral dipping. All right, so this pretty much is the underneath of my cabinet. So the cabinet is pretty much a working cabinet. Okay, so the design for the cabinet was specifically for that reason, to house all the excess equipment that I have for the other tanks. The other tanks, I don't have room to keep all the stuff, so I keep it right here. So now let's talk about the aquascape. So if you have seen my previous videos on the past, you've seen that the aquascape for this tank was very different. I used to have some type of volcanoes, like a very large piece on the middle and two small ones in the back, and it used to be really cool, but the problem is the bubbles from those volcanoes created a lot of salt creep. So because this is a rimless style tank, it was a pain in the ass to clean the stuff every day. So I give up on it, and then I decided to do this dramatic type of aquascape. So as you can see, it's an arc. So it's falling down. I wish I could have it done a little bit lower. I like it how it is. And this tank houses a bunch of soft corals. I don't have anything extreme or finicky in here. All right, so I have Palitoas grandis. These guys I believe are called God armors. Some Xenia, different types of gorgonias. Red Rhodactis, blue discosomas here, green discosomas over there. This guy is called a fuzzy mushroom. Emerald Palithoas, those are really cool. These soft corals. And then I got here the magicians, Sonny D's, Sinularia. These guys are babies from the big Sinularia that I have in my 120. I'm really proud that I have this, and I have another little one over there. Very, very difficult for them to stick into anything. I have that coral for almost 7 years already, and I have tried so many times, so different methods of gluing or let them stick to something, and nothing helped until I moved. The colony dropped a few branches, and I decided to just use our cup full of rocks and throw the babies in there, these pieces, this one and that one. There used to be more. It used to be like almost, I believe, 4 or 5, and only from all of them, only 2 got they glue into the rocks, only 2. So that's a coral. All right, so keeping on with the corals, if you can see right there, I got more psoas. I don't know the exact name of those guys. I believe the one in front. So I have bands over there. All right, so I got some GSP growing in the back of the tank. I want that effect. I want to have all the back full of GSP. I don't want that stuff in my rocks because it's going to be a nightmare to remove. And then I got more Sinularia here that I already showed you, the soft coral. I believe it's 2 types of Sinularia. That's a basic one, and that's the green with the dark polyps. Really cool piece, very easy to comparing this one to that one. This one is the very easy one. This one is the difficult one, and both of them are soft corals. So that is something to, if you didn't know, now you know. You have difficult soft corals. Going on this side, we got more gorgonias, eagle eyes, so another type of zoanthus, I don't remember the name. Big gorgonias on this side. And then I have the Waymaker. It's already said, a Nero 3, making a very gentle flow in this tank. I don't want that much flow. It's a very low flow tank. And then let's talk about the little guy. So here's a cowfish. It's been with me for, I will say, almost close to a year and a half that he's been living with me. So this guy is a box cowfish. Just want to talk about like the keeping this fish for such a long time. What are the good things, bad things, if anybody can keep it, and that kind of stuff. So first of all, this fish is not for everybody. Okay, this is not a beginner's fish. This is not a fish that you can keep as you just got into the hobby. All right, like I said, this is not a beginner's fish. This is a fish that is demanding in some aspect. This fish is a little bit finicky and a little bit slow. So if you have a large system with a lot of tanks, a lot of fish actually, most likely, and you're trying to introduce this guy, you are not going to do very well. Everybody's gonna steal their food. So with finicky fish, that's the first thing that you have to see. That's why he lives by himself in this system. If I was going to put it in the big systems such as that one or that one, he will not survive for a long time. Why? Everybody will steal his or her food. Second, they are omnivores, so they need a balanced diet of frozen food, meaty type of food, and seaweed. They need that. If you cannot provide that, their health will perish. The flow of the tank needs to be mild. If it's a tank with, like, let's say an SPS tank with heavy flow, he's not gonna do well. They are very clumsy swimmers. They can barely swim. It's like a rock with fins, eyes, and mouth. That's exactly what it is. So they are not graceful swimmers. If your tank has too much flow, he's gonna fail. And like another thing is very obvious, but they need a very stable, clean water. Nitrates cannot be too high, phosphates cannot be too high. Like, that's for all fish. So he's living here, has been living here for a very long time. He's going to be the only fish in this system. Nobody else is going here. Maybe I will introduce more shrimp, and actually I'm going to get some shrimp, cleaner shrimp, maybe one, and some peppermint shrimp. All right, so the reason I'm getting some peppermint shrimp, let me show you. Okay, as you can see, I have Aptasia growing in my system. So it's, you see the little Aptasias somewhere. That's one right there. That's another one right there next to the psoas. And the other side is even worse. You can see a few here. So this side is even worse. You have a bunch of little Aptasias growing everywhere here. So I'm going to the fish store to get some peppermint shrimp to see if they can eat some of these guys. And also I'm using Aptasia F Aptasia is called, to get rid of the big ones and whatever I can see. All right, so overall my system it's a very easy system to keep, very low maintenance. It doesn't require much, and I really enjoy it, experimenting with all the psoas. What I want to do is I want to introduce more psoas, have like a big psoa garden right here in this arc, and have some more unique soft corals like Dacinularia, that's one of them. And yeah, just keep a small garden growing in here. I also like these guys. I would like to introduce like a few LPS in here, but I'm afraid they're not going to do very well because I know the alkalinity is very stable. It's always around 8.89. That it never goes low or higher than that. But the light is not very strong for very demanding coral. So that's why if I have something very demanding, I know it's not gonna do well, but for now I like it the way it is. Okay, so if you have any questions, let me know. If you didn't like it, let me know, and see you in the next video, man. Thank you.